Short, sports reporter with the Courier newspaper. Good morning to you.
Morning, Steve.
Bit of a cough this morning.
Yes, a bit early in the morning, just getting myself going.
Come on, this is late. it's 13 past 7. It's late in the morning. Now, can we start with Central Highlands football and netball?
Absolutely.
Where do we start? Do we start with Brad Sewell?
Yeah, for sure. He
Okay.
was definitely the main attraction for the weekend, playing out at Newland with his two brothers. So, yeah, we went out there and it was a big crowd, particularly, as you said, the weather probably wasn't overly appealing to many people, but there was a big crowd. Of course, when you get a former AFL star playing in the backyard, it's a pretty good excuse to go out. So, yeah, all eyes were on him, obviously playing with brothers Adam and Miles, but obviously a hard-nosed midfielder when he played for the Hawks, dual premiership player, but he played mainly forward, which was interesting. Obviously, he hadn't played a stack of footy previously with a fair few media commitments. In fact, he was in Adelaide on the Friday night covering the AFL, so
okay.
maybe he was just more pleased to just be involved in the game and play forward. But Newland did have a good win. As you mentioned, like tough conditions, the wind, the rain started to kick in late in the game, but they did have a good win, and that was their first victory over Warburg since 2003. So
Okay.
it's been a while, but that was a really good day for them. Big crowd, really good vibe around the club room. So yeah, Brad wouldn't have had stacks of the ball, but it was more so Steve Clifton. He's a former GWS giant, but he probably had 35, kicked 3, I think it was in the end. So he was the match winner. Conditions really suited him well. So that was big, and probably Dunstan was another big result, getting over Gordon. Gordon led at every change, but 10-point lead at three-quarter time. Then Dunstan kicked 4 goals to 2 in that last quarter, overran them. So that was a bit of an upset and a big win to sort of kickstart their season. And otherwise, it was, I think, pretty much to script. Springbank had a good victory. Hepburn had a good victory. The reigning premiers yesterday in the Sunday game over rivals Dalesford. So they were down at half-time, but certainly kicked into gear in the second half and won by about 5 goals. So I think both were winners as well. Learmonth probably leaving out a couple there, but yeah, that was certainly the main stories from the weekend. It was great to see Sewell out in a big crowd.
Yeah, indeed. Out in the wind and the rain and some hail probably as well through a few of those games. Now in the netball as well,
Yeah.
they were on court as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I had a chat to Bunningyong over the weekend. They opened their account, which was good. So they had a reasonable game round 1 against Springbank, but couldn't quite get the job done. So they were pleased to have a 10-goal win over Belen on the weekend. And yeah, certainly the conditions affect the footballers and the netballers. It's certainly tough. Short, sharp passes were required with the breeze and things like that. But yeah, so good for Bunningyong to get their season underway with a victory there. And another probably notable one was Skipton having a 21-goal win over Smythesdale. They trailed at quarter time, but ended up overrunning them. So that's been good for them. A fairly new A-grade group, new coaches. In fact, I think they only had their fellow coach come in, I think, a couple of weeks ago, right on the eve of the season. So it can be tough finding numbers, particularly A-grade numbers at times for some of those clubs. So they would have been really pleased to get a win on the board early, because they didn't have too many last year, just a couple of wins. So Smythesdale similar. I mean, it was positive for them, but certainly Skipton will be pleased to sort of be on the up at least early in the season.
Yeah, indeed. All right, let's move on to the soccer. Now, what's happened with the soccer?
Yeah, so we had all 3 teams playing, at least in terms of the State League 1. So starting with Ballarat City, they went down 3-0 to Moreland City, but I mean, Moreland are a really good side. And speaking to Coach Danny Nidic, he was actually fairly pleased with the performance. It was, you look at the scoreboard, 3-0, doesn't look great, but talking to him, he felt that they played really well. They executed everything bar those finishing touches and created plenty of chances, but there was more so just a few errors at the back. I think a couple of goals went through that really on any given day, certainly they would expect to keep out, but at that standard of soccer, you certainly make those errors and you pay for them. So they went down, but they've responded fairly well after a slow start of the season, at least in terms of how they play. The Strikers had a win, so that was good. They've been promoted into State League 3 there, so it was really good to see them get their first win. They played well the first couple of weeks without getting too much reward, just a loss and a draw. So they beat Strathmore at home 1-0. Will Giorgio struck at about 16 minutes, so and they were able to hold on to the lead for the rest of the day. But they'll go pretty well this season, I think. Certainly recruited well and are looking good. And in terms of the women playing for the Strikers, they played on Sunday, and it was a 0-0 draw. So they went out and travelled, came away with a point, was reasonable. So I think talking to their coach, he was pleased to come away with a point because it's never easy to travel. And, you know, also he felt that they had their fair share of the chances to score as well. Couldn't quite get the job done, but certainly for a season opener, you go out on the road. It's never an easy trip. They finished third in that league last year as well, so they would have been pleased to come away with some points to start the season.
And again, I can well imagine weather and wind and everything played a fair old role in those games as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's everywhere over the weekend would have been hit pretty hard. Very difficult conditions.
All right, now just wrap up with the basketball on the weekend, Miners and Rush.
Yeah, so they had a couple of games over the weekend, or at least they were hoping to. So we started Friday, and they both had losses against Basketball Australia's Centre of Excellence. But I think the girls in particular, the Rush, would have been probably a bit more hopeful. They were right in it. They led late in the third quarter. Opposition got on top late, led by, I think it was a point going into the last quarter. And you know, they ended up losing by 4, but it was a 3-pointer on the buzzer. So they were right in at 1 point, you know, right in it towards the end there. So they drew level at times in the last quarter, but just couldn't quite get over the line. The Miners, they had a 7-point loss. They, through the second and third quarters, really got away from them. I think they lost the second quarter by about 12, 13, 14 points. So that was sort of the difference there. They could never peg that margin back. And look, they were hoping to play Saturday night in Canberra as well, but a bit of a power issue, just couldn't get out. So I'm not exactly sure what those issues were, but the electricity wasn't quite happening for them. Presumably weather affected, but yeah, so they'll be looking to reschedule those games at some point when we've got a bit of power to work with. So I don't know whether the whole building had no lights, it was just a couple of things to do with the actual game and playing arena, but no action in Canberra, so they'll look to play that because obviously you don't want to miss a chance to have a win and fall behind the rest of the comp. But as to when we get to reschedule that, I'm not sure because they've got to travel a fair way to play that one, so it's not like you just roll around the corner. So.
Indeed, they do. Now, Daniel, not so much in local sport, although I guess there is a local component. Just before I let you go, Commonwealth Games, I'm about to play a bit of a highlights package. Did you have a highlight for the Com Games at all?
I really enjoyed watching us in the pool. I think that was a dominant performance there. That was great. You know, some really good finishes. I don't mind watching a bit of the swimming. So, yeah, I like to just have it on in the background, have a bit of a look. But I was spewing at the Palms Peterson and netball. if you want a low light, I was spewing about that. I was watching that just about to leave work.
It's not supposed to happen that way.
Yeah, I know. I thought, this isn't right. So, yeah, just the one goal there. But no, definitely the pool. I thought I really enjoyed. Yossen like to dominate in the water, and that was good. I think it was a record in terms of medals. I
think so.
That,
yeah.
At least for Commonwealth Games, it was great.
Quite extraordinary. I mean, locally, I think the highlight for a lot of people is Catherine Mitchell. Especially the way she did it with the first throw, sort of getting the gold and new records and all that sort of stuff. I think that's fantastic. But yeah. Swimming was really quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
The way the team, because they haven't performed well at some of those other big events like Olympics and Commonwealth Games in the last few. So
yeah, we often have big expectations. So good to deliver on it.
Indeed. All right, Daniel, thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Thanks, Steve.
Daniel Short is a sports reporter with the Courier newspaper and joining us on this Monday morning.